This is Will Buchanan reporting for the Walk for Liberty. Today is June 25th, 2008, day 73. I should be just about reaching Lolo Pass by the end of the walk today. Right now, near the start of my walk, I'm at about 3,300 feet. So let's see how high I've gotten once I reach the top. Since leaving the river, and as I've been getting closer to the pass, I've noticed that the hills have been getting steeper. And indeed, even with the elevation that I've been gaining the last few days, in conjunction with the fact that I've been walking more miles, my thighs have been pretty sore by the end of the day. One thing I've enjoyed doing, whenever it's been available at the campgrounds we've been staying at, is to take a soak in the hot tub at the end of the long walk. Yesterday, however, I got a special treat. We were parked nearby a natural hot springs, and I had never been to one of those before. So the four of us set out on the 1.5-mile trek to get out to it. It was a unique experience, getting to sit in water that had been heated from inside the earth, especially with all the natural beauty around. As we had arrived there was a couple in the first pool who had been finishing up, and who had obviously been skinny dipping. When we were still some distance away, the lady was standing up and drying off, and was still completely naked. As we came up to the pool basin where they were, the lady had put some shorts on, but she was still topless. We even talked to them for a few minutes while she was standing up facing us, completely bare-breasted, like it was no big deal. And I say, bravo to her. Why should it be a big deal? Now I understand it's probably from the Puritan roots of this country, which still linger around today, which has conditioned people to feel so ashamed or even offended at the idea of nudity. If you personally want to feel offended at somebody else being naked, then that's your choice. The problem comes, though, when you use the force of law to push that belief system onto others. And here again is where that sticky issue of public land, i.e. government land, comes into play. On public land, the decorum and behavior on that land is supposedly decided by the majority, or at least by those in power of government who are supposed to be elected by the majority. Whereas on private land, it's the owner of the land who decides what the decorum on the land is. Now you might be thinking, what's the big deal? What's the difference between the majority deciding whether or not nudity is allowed on a particular piece of land versus the owner of that land deciding it? Well, there's actually a tremendous difference, and it's all about choice. Let's say 5% of the population likes the idea of being able to go nude in a park. With government parks, it's all or nothing, majority rules. And the nudists effectively have no outlet because they're so completely outnumbered by the voting of the majority. If all parks were private, though, it would be a completely different situation. Since private business owners are keen to market demand, if 5% of the population were demanding nude parks, then approximately 5% of the private parks would allow nudity. And that's pretty much the difference between government and private businesses. Government doesn't respond to market signals, only to the wishes of the majority. With government, it's one size fits all and no choice. Private businesses, however, do respond to market demand. If there is a demand in the market which is not being fulfilled, you can bet that somebody in search of profit will come in and meet that demand, thereby providing more choice for everyone. You might not be among that small percentage who likes the idea of public nudity, but don't you have some kind of interest that a minority of people has? And wouldn't you rather have a multitude of private businesses competing to fulfill that need than the one-size-fits-all, majority rules model of government? I understand that this bridge is the start of the real uphill climbing. I'm currently at about 4,000 feet, and I'm at 3.88 miles on this second leg of my walk today. So we'll see how quickly I rise in elevation. Another mountain peak with snow on it. I wonder if that's the same one we saw yesterday. At 6.15 miles so far on this leg, I'm just over 4,600 feet in elevation. 1 mile to go. I've walked 170 miles since the Idaho border, and now I'm about to cross into Montana. Although there's no sign here, I think I'm pretty much at the pass. I didn't quite get as high as a mile, but I'm really close. I went up almost 1,300 feet in almost 5 miles at better than a 19 minute per mile pace. I also went up about 1,900 feet total today, entering the geographical region / political delineation of Montana. And I'm crossing a time zone. Between my 2 walk segments today, I walked about 16 3/4 miles. Here are my GPS coordinates. This is Will Buchanan for blog.walkforliberty.com, signing off. I guess they had to hire a moving company to deliver in the artifacts for the historical site.